well-deserved rest. Happy that we were able to get a break. We know it's gonna be a busy year. We've got three conferences, hindi na dalawa. Then we've got ESL. So, we'll have to hit the ground running kasi I think we're gonna be opening game. I heard that we probably will, but we would have rather had our games later on, but we just have to make do with what we have. We had that last conference kami rin yung first game, so obviously we wish we had a bit more time. We've had over 15 years. The championship teams always play later, right? But it is what it is. Obviously, they probably want a good game, an opening game. We just have to be ready and then find our rhythm as the games progress.
Coach, was Allen Durham siya talaga yung priority nyo?
Of course. We wouldn't have lost AD. The pandemic kind of put him in a situation where he needed to sign, diba? And then at that time, the PBA had not come out with a height limit or a situation of where we'll move. So Japan offered it. AD's done well there. He's been in 3 finals, 3 championship situations. He's won an MVP. It's a bit older now, but we're happy that he's here. He knows the league. I don't think he's in shape. He'll need maybe a couple of weeks to get his rhythm, but we know what AD can do when he gets his rhythm going.
Let's talk about, sabi mo, getting into a rhythm. I know the last conference, medyo the schedule put you in a bind. Tapos nag-pick up kayo in the latter part of the conference. Now the schedule is gonna be compressed. Six play dates in a week. Talk about that.
Yeah, well, I think the key for us is we have to adapt. As much as we want, and we want to welcome that we would have played 2 weeks later on, like the normal 15-20 years, we're put in that situation. So the earlier we get over it, the earlier we realize that we're gonna play early, the better we'll be moving forward. But make no mistake about it, we will be bad first. We will take a step back before we become good. And we expect this. We've had our second practice. We've had 2 practices, non-ball, and then our first practice was yesterday. So the guys look okay. They're not too, out of shape, but it'll take some time. But again, most of these teams already have had, 2 months advance. They've had tune-up games, and we have a big bullseye on our chest, right? So, talking from experience, I've been there also. I'm sure Coach Nenad's been there, where you win one and then you realize kung gaano kahirap, and we have a big bullseye on our back. We've improved through the draft, but other teams have also. So we've got to adapt, make sure we realize we're not going to be at our best. Try to find ways in the first 5 games to string some wins for us to have a situation to be competitive and hopefully to make the playoffs.
Coach, follow up on that, yung having a target on your back. How do you like that situation, or
Well, we got the monkey off our back. I mean, you look at proud of our franchise, proud of our culture, top to bottom. You look at our management, to our consultants, to the players. The last 9 conferences, we made 7 semifinals. We got knocked out in that 2 conferences ago when we tied for 2. But we're always there, right? And now that we have a bigger bullseye on our back, you just have to accept moving forward, right? I think the hardest thing here is, we can't feel you're proud of what we've done, but that's in the past. We've got to always look to get better. We know we have a weapon in AD, so I think that the thing here is guys have to see how it works. We've also got some rookies. CJ's a talent. Some of the other ones are still tied down with MPBL. He needs a break. And at their age, I think if you look at the teams, so one of the more older teams, the more mature teams, at this point in time, we have to recalibrate what we're doing with them, right? If they were younger, we were getting eliminated early, we'd want them earlier in practices. But you look at our lineup, 33 to 37 years old, we're really growing on age. So, mas importante sa amin yung timing na ginagawa namin sa loob. We'll get better as the conference evolves.
Coach, we all know nag-champion nga kayo sa Philippine Cup, but andun pa rin yung sa resume nyo yung runner-up finishes nyo sa Governor's Cup. Is it still a source of motivation for you guys na mapanalo nyo pa rin yung Governor's Cup even after winning your first championship?
I think we have a chip in our shoulders there. We know how important that conference is. I'm proud that we won the All Filipino kasi pwede namin sabihin pound for pound. That's, to me, yun ang pinaka-prestigious kasi ikaw yung pinaka-magaling na team in the land. So, we've done that. But now, AD has to realize a little bit older, he's not 100% in shape. Although we know what he can do. It's a different ball game, right? So, the challenge for us is to try to be as consistent as we come in what we do. We're not worried about the wins and the losses first. We have to play the right way. We have to get our defense going. We have to get our offense going. We have to get the rules in place. The other players have to know how to feed AD, and then AD's got to, on his own, find his rhythm, get in shape, right? But tama yung sinabi mo. We've had four final appearances dito, and that has been great. But you always look for a certain goal, diba? So tama ka dyan. Extra motivation sa amin.
Coach, follow up on that kasi di ba yun nga Governor's Cup lagi kayo nandun. Yung change ba ng format this conference parang would that work on your favor sa palagay mo?
I think we're in a disadvantage in a way. There are pros and cons. Advantage because we play more in a rhythm. So for AD, he has to get games, diba? So I think it'll get him in quicker shape. But by that time, the game should have had outcomes, diba? So I would have rather where we had more time to prepare. This conference is always hard. I think we're the only league where you have 7 games, 5 games, where there's home court. Like you see in the NBA, there's a home court for one team, and then you move to the other. Like in European Cups, you have home and away, right? Japan has it, Korea. We're the only team, like if you face Ginebra in a 7-game series, 7 games, it's their home court. So, sometimes those things where you mix and match who you're playing against, I think we're in a disadvantage to that. And then, we love it. We love that we played in the arena, but I think that's a big disadvantage to us where you're playing around 60,000. So, you play in smaller venues, the arena is not as big, right? And I think we're the only team, Ginebra and Meralco, that have played in those types of arena, right? I think we got a little bit lucky last conference where the arena was small in that knockout game against Ginebra, right? But it depends on where you are in the matchups. I mean, Ginebra's not the only good team here. You've got San Miguel, you've got obviously Talk and Tex, you've got Magnolia, who's retooled themselves with Halalon and Lucero, so they've gotten the chips they wanted. And then you look at teams that haven't gotten over the hump, but I think on paper they're just as strong as the other team. You look at Rain or Shine, they may not have gotten the success they wanted, but looking 2-3 years before, you look at that lineup, they're just as capable, right? I can say pound for pound, if they do things the right way and they're there, they have what it takes to make a championship. So, yung maganda dito, the influx of talent. I think last year, yung first round natin, walang panay feel foreigner, diba? This time, you see a lot of our homegrowns are coming out, and those homegrowns left to play overseas. So, Abarientos, even some of the guys from the NCAA UAP, they're coming to play. So I think that's good for our league.